Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are talking about the Hotter Than Hell 100. Just a brief general overview of what's going to be happening Friday night for everyone.
Well, you have your, that morning, you have the medical symposium for the science of cycling. So that's going on that morning, as well as the consumer show. And then you have your finish line village, and then the mountain bike racing, which starts at 5 p.m. that night. Also,
Friday night is the big spaghetti dinner too, correct?
Yes.
And we understand that kicks off at
5:30 p.m. It's $8 a person. It's all you can eat. So salad, breadsticks, spaghetti, and last year they had some cookies, so hopefully they'll have some sweets too. So
that sounds good. So again, that all kicks off Friday night. A lot going on. And you know, the spaghetti dinner is a big preparation, of course, in getting these bikers ready for the road. So Saturday morning is, of course, when that all kicks off. But how important are things like carbs and stuff like that to really training, and whenever training kind of comes into this?
Oh, sure. Carbs are very important. Good hydration is very important. Leaving the carb intake to the last second is probably not the best idea, but it always helps to top off the old carb tank.
That's a good tip to keep in mind. And is there a particular route that you really recommend for families?
Well, they really recommend the 10K. It's 6 miles, or it's roughly 6 miles, but it's just short enough to where, you know, especially if you have really small children, that they get the experience in and they still get the feel of the ride. So.
But without being overwhelming for
Absolutely.
them or you.
And it's, right, and it's achievable.
And they have a rest stop on the 10K ride, and they're going to have, I think, snow cones. So
because they know kids are going to be doing that,
right? They're going to have snow cones. But if your children are older, like elementary school, and they've actually trained some, or if they're scouts and they're working on their scout merit badge, the 25 is a lot of fun. You can do that in about 2 or 3, maybe 4 hours. You can stop at all the rest stops, have lots of cookies.
And then the 25-mile also goes through the base. The 10K does not. I think that's the only one that does not go through the base.
Right.
So.
But the next step up, like you were saying, it does.
But making sure that you utilize the rest stop, which are every 10 miles. You know, make sure you're staying hydrated, replacing your electrolytes, and you know, eat a banana or things that they have there. Or if you get too hot, you know, listen to your body, cool off. They have misters in there, and they have towels that they place on you or whatever. Just make sure that you're listening to your body, that you're utilizing the rest stops, and that's what they're there for.
And that's pretty interesting, every 10 miles. So that means there's a lot of volunteers that are working hard to make all of this happen, correct? Who are manning those rest stops that you're seeing along the way?
Well, there's a really wonderful medical team under Dr. Keith Williamson, EMTs all the way to nurses, and just people like myself who just want to help. There's a place for everybody. So, but every rest stop there are people, if you have any issues, all the way from just being hot to you fell off your bike and you have road rash and you need to get that covered. Every rest stop is equipped for your possible need that day.
And I understand they're volunteering their time.
Over 4,000 volunteers.
Wow, yeah. That's incredible.
And they're out in the heat with the riders all day long. Great sports to do that for us. If you're not trying to go fast, absolutely pull over. There's cookies, there's snow cones. The rest stops all have a theme. Usually there's at least one that's a Western theme. They'll have a longhorn. You can take your picture sitting on the longhorn. We have a contest for the best rest stop, and the riders get to vote on the best rest stop.
Oh.
So that's always a lot of fun. Last year, I think Margaritaville won. Because even though there's rest stops every 10 miles, you still need to drink in between there every 10 miles. And the rules of the road for cycling are just like the rules of the road for driving. Slower people stay to the right.
Great advice, lots of tips to keep people safe and, of course, to enjoy the big ride. All coming up. Starts this Saturday morning. We're going to keep you covered from the very beginning until the winner of the race comes through that finish line. So much more on the Hotter Than Hell 100, and what you need to know about this weekend is coming up. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more.
This Hotter Than Hell 100 coverage is brought to you by Texoma Cycling Center. Get your groove on with Texoma Cycling Center.
Welcome back to Inside Texoma. We've been talking about Hotter Than Hell 100, the big ride, the big race. It all kicks off this weekend. Saturday morning is the day, but actually Friday, as we've said over and over, the activities start Friday. So full weekend of events taking place. Now, with every event also comes food, and there's lots of food to talk about that's going to be taking place there, as well as bands. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, we have all sorts of carnival type food and actually good for you food. There's going to be barbecue and home cooking. There's going to be a Jolly Trolley that has all sorts of sweets and things that are fried. Fuzzy's Tacos, Genghis Grill's going to be there. There's going to be funnel cakes, fresh made lemonade, lots of sweets and treats.
I love it.
It's my favorite place.
Yeah. You can truly find, I love that how you said stuff that tastes good, tasty, and stuff that's good for you. Not that that's not tasty too, but you know, something for everyone. So
exactly.
It's all good. That will start Friday then? Is that going to be all weekend that you can see the vendors, the food vendors available?
Friday and all day Saturday.
And all day Saturday.
Because after 100 miles, you can eat anything.
They're going to be excited about that. Now, what about the bands? Because there's going to be lots of entertainment also taking place.
Tyler Rushing, he's a Texas country. I believe he's local. Chris Lager, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He plays more of a blues rock. And there's going to be a Josh Weathers there, and he's more of a rock. All of this entertainment is free. So we encourage people to come out and listen and, you know, just take part of Finish Line Village and, you know, just see what's going on. So.
And that is where the food and the bands will be, correct?
Right, in
Finish Line Village.
Yes.
So we definitely want to make that clear. And explain a little bit more about Finish Line Village in case people have not ever been out there to see it or to take part, and kind of where they can find that and where it's set up.
Well, it's behind the K. Yeager, so it's kind of situated in between Scott Street, the K. Yeager, and the MPEC. Once they get there and park in the big, huge parking lot, just walk for the noise, just follow the crowd.
Sure.
It's they have fans and misters set up all over the Finish Line Village area, especially all day Saturday, and the bands will be pretty much all day. There's a really good frequently asked questions on the Hotter Than Hell website. If you go on there and click, I think it's about Hotter Than Hell, you can find a FAQ, and that'll have the start times of all the bands and all the other activities.
Okay, that's important information. You can see that, of course, there on your screen, that website, once again, where to find that. Now, when's the best time to head to Finish Line Village? Let's say if you're not going to be at the starting line and you just kind of want to come out there for the day, just to kind of kick off the activities. Because that morning is when the race will start. Are there things going on right away at Finish Line Village
Absolutely.
at 7 a.m. as well?
Yep, there's breakfast.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to think, though, people who are going to ride in the ride bring their families, and so these people are going to have quite a few hours with, you know, not to do anything,
Sure.
but Finish Line Village and the Consumer Show will keep them busy. So there's food and things to do that they can do while they're there and while they're waiting. So.
Yes. And we also have a breakfast in the K. Yeager. That's for the athletes before the ride, and then after the athletes leave, they still keep it over for an hour or so for the family members.
Okay.
But I encourage everyone in town to come watch the start. If you've never seen thousands and thousands of people in Lycra and helmets lined up on Scott Street, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's all the color, all the energy. It's just amazing.
It really is. It's quite a sight, I have to say. So last year, my first time to be down there at the starting line. And, you know, the cannon involved, and we talked about this, I know, a little bit in the last show, but Sheppard Air Force Base plays such a huge role in all of this, and they're going to be firing off the cannon. You're going to have the flyover, and just a really big morning for Texoma and Hotter Than Hell 100. You said that Sheppard Air Force Base actually plays a large role in making this all come together as well. What is that role?
Absolutely. We could not present this event without Sheppard Air Force Base. They send hundreds of people out to help us set up the downtown area. The Seabees, a group of the Navy that's at Sheppard Air Force Base, they paint the entire course. They put the arrows on the road. They started last weekend, and they'll continue that through, you know, a few days before the event. They help us a lot on the off-road trail. They follow Roby around all day Thursday, setting up the pylons and the scaffolds. They are integral to everything that is Hotter Than Hell.
And you actually told us a little story about them, you know, just to kind of brag on them a little bit, and just how much of hard workers these guys really are.
For our mountain bike trail, of course, we have lots of work days where we just all show up and, you know, that we pick a project and we do something. And a busload of they'll bring a busload of Seabees out, and one time we needed a bridge somewhere, and I said, oh look, we need a bridge there. And then I went off and got distracted doing something, and we came back and they were almost done with the bridge. So their little motto of "We build, we fight." Actually, it should be, you know, we can build anything.
Yeah.
They've moved telephone poles. I didn't know that men could pick telephone poles up, but when we need those moved, there's like a CB on each end, and they just pick them up and walk off with them. It's amazing.
Wow.
They are such hard workers, and they're so happy to come out and volunteer for us.
It's pretty neat. You know, again, another big important tie that we have to shepherd, and really just all they do for the community, and, you know, all the community, of course, does for them. But I just think that was important that you brag on them a little bit, because that was a pretty neat story that she had shared with us a little bit earlier. So, again, not too late to get involved, not too late to sign up. Involvement's a big thing that you are still needing volunteers for. There's Tuesday, this Tuesday, 8 a.m., a big day, right? What's happening Tuesday?
Tuesday, there's the packet stuffing. We need everybody that wants to volunteer, or it's not too late, like you said. At 8 a.m. at the Impact, you just show up, and basically you're just going to help stuff all the packets full of all the goodies that go in it. And, you know, last year there was about 12,000 or so people that rode, so imagine all of those packets that you know, have more than one or two things that go in it. So we need all the people that we can to help.
Absolutely, thousands of packets. Yes. So your time is really needed to come help out. And again, just show up, you said, at the Impact. Is there a specific place? I'm sure once they get there, there will already be people there, so they can find the location and the exact room to get to.
I'm sure just follow the line.
Follow the line.
Follow the excitement.
Your help will be appreciated. Well, ladies, we appreciate you sharing so much about this important event and historical event for Wichita Falls. So thanks again for the insides of Hotter Than Hell 100. We will look forward to hearing from you both on the day of the race. So make sure you tune in. Again, it all kicks off Saturday morning. We'll be bringing you live coverage the day of the big ride. So we want to say thanks for joining us, Texoma. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you back here next Sunday for another look inside Texoma.